Hey guys, welcome to back to my weekend tutorial about Figma and web page design on all these goodies. Hey, I just created a a series that talks about the beginning concept of React application from uh, uh, graphic design all the way to the functional app. And I thought you guys might like it. But before I dive right into it, I like to tell you a little bit about this app. This is a timer app. It's more or less a hello world type of application to illustrate a couple major ideas of React app. Let me run the demo video. Hopefully you guys can see what's in the show. Here you go. It's a timer app with React Bootstrap. This is a library that I'm going to introduce. This is a very useful library. We'll learn about animation, how to use animation in React, and we'll also learn about how to do responsive design. One of the big things in today's modern web page, and we'll learn about the core of state management in React. This is really the core to make React so reactive. It's all these concepts are all in one beginner tutorial series. So hopefully we will have a few episodes. So stay tuned. If you like it, please subscribe also so that you are in tune with the schedule and enjoy. All right, so let's get this thing on the road. What we're gonna do is let's get the graphics um, design out of the way, and then we will start working on using the graphic design file or vector graphics and use it in the real code. Let's have the fun thing of drawing things out of the way first. By the way, I just have this new mouse. Are you jealous? Anyway, so what we have here is a blank um, page for Figma. So in order to draw something, we need to draw a frame first. Of course, everything starts with a frame. You know what I mean? Here with the frame, we are going to make sure the dimension is correct. What's the dimension, you ask? It's going to be 1920. That's a very typical full HD dimension, and I think nowadays every monitor can display this, so this is pretty safe. Now, the next thing we're going to draw is a circle to represent a clock face, and to draw a circle right here, these are all the tools. In case you have never used Figma before, it has a bunch of very simplistic tool. Simplistic, but they're pretty powerful. So we have the basic shape here: triangle, polygon, rectangle, everything. So we'll be using ellipse. Ellipse is, you guess it, is actually a circle. If you have two radius together, as they get closer and closer together, it becomes one point, and that's when you have circle. Why am I talking about this? This is elementary math. Anyway, so let's type O, the hotkey O, represent a circle, and you hold down the shift key. Then you see this is proportional. If you let go of the shift key, you can distort the circle to become ellipse. But because we have a clock face, we want the circle. Scroll it down, and there you have it. And now what we want is a kind of a transparent, translucent field of a clock face. So to do that, we are mucking around with the opacity, my best friend opacity here. And the black shade here, right? So since we are mostly displaying this on a white background, we'll just have a little small hint of blackness, which is a little bit gray here. So this is our clock face. And in order to make it look like translucent, we have to have some contrast, right? Contrast to make it look like translucent. How do we do that? We will use, you guess it, another circle. But this circle has more color to it. So wow, this mouse is really working out really nicely. Anyway, we put linear, the color field here, we put linear, gradient. So we just pick color, whatever color you like. I like to stick with the video. We're going to use this color and maybe change this to this, and then make sure we do the opacity a little lower so that we have it doesn't make it come out so much, because it eventually is going to go back to this circle. It's going to go behind stuff. So right now, if you look at this, it's above, you're shading, you're above the gray circle, but if we drag this guy to behind ellipse 17, which is the circle, it goes behind it, you see. So now you can actually play with the opacity here, maybe do 60. See, it's even lighter. And this guy, the big circle, you can make it come out a little bit, maybe 50. Right? Now you have a big contrast. This is above the circle, right? Okay, and you want to make it bigger, just random size. Now this is good, right? We want to, one circle is kind of lonely. You don't want to be the only guy on the block, right? So you just randomly put circle around and see what works. Now, if you look at this, this is an orange top. We don't want that. We want to have some randomness in here. So what you do is very simple. You don't need to reshade or redo anything. To keep the color consistency, we're going to do simply a rotation here. Where is my little rotating thing? For some reason, it doesn't show up, that rotation thing. Let's say we do 45-degree rotation, right? I don't know why it doesn't show up. Usually it show up. Anyway, now if we do 45-degree rotation, let's give a random of 305, right? Now it goes the other way. The orange is right here now, right? So you can put that trick, maybe some right here, make it different. And I want this guy to be a little bit bigger, comparatively speaking, like that. And this guy, I want it to be larger, and like that. Now we have a kind of very definitive contrast, and we can tone it down a little, maybe 43, just view, right? Now, this is our clock face, and we also want to add border in it. Otherwise, it looks like a piece of gray color, shaded color floating in space. We want to give it a little bit more structure. So we'll use stroke. Stroke is nothing more than a border, right? So the border will be like maybe a little bit here like that. And then we'll crank this guy up, the thickness of the border. We need that to see how we should lower down the, like that, right? So if this is still too much for you, you can even lower it down a little bit more, the shading, the translucency, and also a little bit more like that. Now we have a defined border. Now it's right now, it still doesn't look like a clock. It's like, dude, what are you doing? This is not like a clock. And how do I make it look like a clock? I'm going to draw a rectangle to do all the time mark, maybe 12 o'clock mark and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't know the name of those marks. And we call it time mark. Anyway, we pick a color, right? If you look at that, it's right now, it's pretty strong. This color is coming out too much. So we will change the translucent or opacity again and see what works. Maybe 50, right? Now it's a lot more harmonized, right? I'm using all these big words, man. Anyway, and then you go like, hold down your Alt key. If I let go of the Alt key, I'm actually moving the stuff. If I hold down to it, I'm actually copying while I'm dragging, right? So you see, now I have this perfectly aligned and I copy every attribute, including the translucency, right? You see what I mean? Now we'll do the same trick. I can be picky here all day and sitting there playing with this all day, but that's good enough for now. Now I do the Alt key trick again, holding down the Alt key while we're dragging, we're copying. Now here, we want to do a 90-degree rotation, and we're close to the 9 o'clock mark, right? And then here comes another trick again, the same trick again. You are aligning with the red line. This is very important, and this is very useful tool to align stuff. Sometimes I found this tool better than PowerPoint. It's a pain to align stuff in PowerPoint, but this tool is like amazing. Figma is just blow my mind. So it's nothing fancy. It doesn't look photorealistic, but it looks pretty good. You have to say, and pretty easy. Now, if I do this, we do this. Let's put the needle on. And then you do the Alt key again. Your best friend, the Alt key friend, right? So, and then you stretch this guy. I'm holding just one corner and stretch this guy, and then make sure you align it. Sometimes it get off alignment. Sometimes you'll be like this and this. You want the dead on in the middle. Now, if you look at this does not look like a car too much yet. Let's do some magic. Let's round this guy. Ooh. Let's round this guy, the needle, so that it doesn't look like yet another mark, another time mark. So I will just use this attribute, this round thing. It is where you put the radius of the round corner. So I almost like to use 13. You know why? I don't know why, but it sounds really cool in Chinese. In Chinese means um, definitely definite prosperity. You always live. That just means 13. Not the same as a Western culture. 13, sometimes buildings doesn't even have the 13th floor. But Chinese, we love that number. That's also 88 too, by the way. This is Chinese New Year. This is a little bit of cultural uh, knowledge that I can tell you. Anyway, here, if you zoom out, does it look like a clock? It's getting there. Let's change the color of the needle in order to keep consistency with the rest of the picture. We better use the similar color scheme. One of the things I noticed when we're doing graphic design, some people tend to use a lot of colors, but guess what? It distracts people's attention. If you stay with a few color choices, the picture will be more powerful. The less is more, in fact. Anyway, now we're going to use the green color. And this green color, I also put opacity a little bit, about 50%, so that it doesn't come out and draw too much attention away from the rest of the picture. Because our eyes always go to brighter color and more strong color. This is how our brain is wired to do. Now, it does look like a distinct clock. If you want to do a little bit of playing around or add another needle, that's fine. But I'll leave it at that. I can do this all day, right? Now, what do? We're going to have, this is the clock face. We need to have buttons. How do we do the buttons? I'm so excited about this graphic design thing. But I'm more excited about the code that goes with this. But let's finish this first. To do the button, what we do, oh, my dinner is ready. But anyway, that's fine. Now, I'm going to do a rectangle. To draw the button, to do the rectangle, we have a hotkey of R. Just press R, and then you just draw it, just like that. And for now, it makes it look great first because it's easier for me to track where that button is. But we want to quickly put on the title. I mean the stroke, the border. The border, I picked the color of blue, and I also want there's a rounded button. Again, you guess it, my favorite number, 13. There. Now everything is round. The card is round. The button is round. It's so fancy good. So if you play it with the weight, the thickness of the border, you can get a feel, right? But I like maybe two. Two is good. Now right now I will fill this back up with this, and it looks good. So far, it does look like started to look like a button, but we want a glowing edges. How do we do that? We add the effect, drop shadow effect. This can do a lot of drop shadow, but we're not here to use this feature to do the drop shadow. We're here to use it to make it glow, kind of like glowing border. And so we will take away the X and Y. This is the offset, how off the shadow is going to be in the XY direction. X 4 pixel or Y 4 pixel, you will see a border at the bottom somewhere like that. But right now, we don't want that. I want all the shadow coming out from all sides. So we'll use 0 and crank this baby up, this blur thing. Crank this up. You see there's a shadow on the outside right now, right? You know what I mean? If you crank this guy up, whee, like that, right? And depending on your taste, less is more sometimes, but let's see. It is hard to see, but let's change the color to It's easier to see now, right? Now it's glowing, like coming out from all sides. But we need name of the button. We need some name on the button. So we'll be doing text. Hit T, text, and then you draw it here. Like if the first button is 1 minute, you can choose a font, but I'm not going to play around with the font for now. This font does look good. And then you can align it for the first button. Now, we do have a button. It's not the button that you're used to, like Windows button. This is relatively flat, but this is our way of saying, hey, this is my design. I like it. I like it. So now we're going to group these two things together. Press Control G for group, right? For Mac is whatever the control replacement button in Mac. I don't even know what this is. Anyway, here you group them. It becomes group 16, right? So now we're going to do the same trick. Remember the trick? Hit Alt and drag, and look at the easiness here. Right? You keep copying that. Easy enough, right? Or you now the spacing. I'm not sure if they are equally spaced. Here is a cool tool you can have. Align all these and come here. You have once you select all these, you have all these alignment options. One of the options here is distribute horizontal spacing. Bam! They are all equally spaced now, right? Now, what we do is just drag it around, make sure we align there in the center. There, give away. There, give away. Anyway, here, you can change the name of the text anywhere. Just do some minor adjustment. Not too bad. Okay, get it? And I want to align this with the other guy. This guy. Oops. And then this is going to be bold based on what I had in mind, and then move this guy, align it with somebody else, and then middle there. Oh, fancy. And then here we're going to have to make it longer. Reset. Same here, and then like that. Reset text there. How about this one? This is going to be was it one sec, right? And then hopefully they align, but you know what I mean, right? And then 10 stack, right? Wait a second, 10 sec. Why it is not like that? There, there. Okay. It looks fabulous. Now, it does look like the video, the demo video, But one thing is missing. What is that one thing missing, cause? No, there's one thing missing is the counter. Let's do the counter here. And then again, I hit hotkey T. And then this is going to have to be a little bit bigger to draw some attention. Oh, wait. Did I lose it? Anyway, here. 1 hour, 10 seconds, 12 minutes, and 50 and 61. Oh no, 61 cannot be 61 seconds. It's about 58 seconds. How about that? And then we're going to make this a little bit catchy, maybe even bigger. How about that? Right? And then let's align this to the best we can. Oh, there. Okay. Now, this is how we drew a card. Unfortunately, this card is not possible in real life, but it's a card. And digital font, the font that we use here is this fancy dancy font, Google font. Orbitron, even the name is sounds cool. Now, this is it. So in the next video, we're going to use all these assets to code it up. Stay tuned for the next episode. And it's time for me to eat my dinner. It's all ready. See you next time.